Hi, folks. Jack O'Malley here on a Friday, a snowy Friday. Not snowing right now. Again, I'm recording this a little bit earlier in the day as I'm kind of looking forward to a Friday night, make some dinner and just snuggle with the missus. So recording this a little bit early. A couple things to touch on I thought was interesting. The governor yesterday allowed winter sports to resume beginning on Monday, with restrictions. Still have to wear a mask, things like that, which our athletes have proven they will do what's needed, and they will follow all the rules because they want to play. And this is such an important thing to have happen for lots of reasons. One, I know I've talked to a lot of educators, just a superintendent today that's thrilled because he said, our kids mentally, it's tough. Young people might not have all the coping skills that maybe an adult has, because obviously they're kids. They're not as maybe as mentally developed in some of that regard, and obviously even some of our adults have problems with what's been going on too. So, but the point is, I'm glad that they're letting the kids get back to school or back to sports, because that's important. But what I find massively ironic is that a week ago, nope, can't do it. Science and data says that, it's just too dangerous, even though every other state in the country has high school sports going, and so on and so forth. But nope, can't do it. So there is a rally to support kids and athletes. There's a lawsuit, and then we tie-bar a resolution to our budget yesterday saying you've got to open up, if you sign this budget, you've got to open up sports. And then the governor yesterday opens up sports. Did the science and data change that much since a week ago? Well, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, well, yeah, actually it has. Our hospital rates have declined, so that's a good sign. We can open up. Well, if that's the case, and hospital rates have declined, so on and so forth, why not reopen all the businesses? Why not let restaurants get to 50 or 75% capacity? Again, this whole thing, I keep saying, and I want people that just think the governor is hitting home runs with everything she does. There has been a massively unbalanced approach to this. And I know that when I've said that before, and it's important that school athletics get going again, people have asked me or commented, well, Jack, what about the businesses? What about the restaurants? That's important too. Absolutely correct. But you got to remember, we're dealing with the public, and there's a lot of thoughts on what is and what isn't. And we have to convince a lot of people that what the governor is doing isn't just keeping them safe. It's killing the environment. It's killing our economic environment. It's in some cases killing our kids. I've seen stories of a hockey player here a week ago. Point is, as I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm hoping that this high school situation is the straw that breaks the camel's back, that those people that are just the governor are going to start saying, wait a minute here, this is crazy. Why? Wait a minute, a week ago they could be closed, now back they can be open. Everything that's happening, ladies and gentlemen, if you think the governor's doing great, is arbitrary. It really is. The science and data, yeah, they might have some statistics here or there, but there hasn't been a balanced approach. So that's why I hope that we can continue on. Now, Madam Governor, since the science and data swag shows you that kids can get back playing high school sports, let's get those restaurants to 50 to 75% occupancy. Same science and same data. On that front, yesterday we had the interim director of DHHS in to the oversight committee to talk about the vaccine rollout. Sounds like things are going well. Part of the problem is that there's just not that, there's a limit to the amount of vaccine that's being made, and it's got to go to 50 states, right? So they're in a situation that, is a little precarious. So as more vaccines come online, the better off we'll all be on that front. I was chatting with Senator Kurt Vanderwall today, senator from the 35th District. He is my senator. He is also the chair of the Health Committee in the Senate, Health Policy. And he was saying he was getting some information that said Johnson & Johnson is going to be coming online with a third vaccine. And this is a one-shot vaccine, not a tour like Moderna and Pfizer. And what they're thinking there is that the first blush that get the Johnson & Johnson one-doser will be all the homebound folks. That makes sense, right? You can go to their house, give them the shot if they want it, and get to the next one, and then they're done. Pfizer, I guess, is saying that they should have double production, between 4 to 6 million doses a week by March 1st. So that will also ramp things up. Talking with the local health departments here, they're saying, hey, they got all the volunteers, they've got the infrastructure in place to get this done, but they're just not getting the vaccine, enough of it. So as these companies ramp it up, we should see something there. The other thing I want to touch on briefly here tonight, because just a couple things have happened in the last couple of days. I've talked about it in the past, but I thought I'd address it here. Freedom of speech. It is paramount to the American way of life. And freedom of speech comes with some, caveats. You can't yell fire in a crowded building, things like that. I get that. Spent my life with freedom of speech, being on the radio. But even there, I said, I realized my freedom of speech only went so far because I didn't hold the license to the radio station, right? So my boss could have come in and said, don't say that. And I would have had to make the choice. Do I say it and get fired, or do I not say it? So there's freedom of speech. There are some curbs on the freedom of speech road that are just common sense. I get that. But ultimately, I can stand on the street corner and say what I want. The problem that I see happening today, I saw an article, a person mentioned this to me, so I Googled it. The New York Times, which is a leading liberal newspaper in this country, had an article that said, maybe we need a reality czar. A reality czar. So this would be a government group or person that would, what's truthful, what isn't, and part of this is, and this is where I talk about curbs. The internet has put a whole new wrinkle on it. And I'll tell you why I say that. And so much of the American experience, the American experiment, is on the people to make sure that it's done right. Freedom of speech, internet. To give you an example, I got forwarded it to me, this is a couple weeks ago, about how you got to read this, you've got to read it before it gets taken down. There are Chinese troops amassing in Canada and Mexico. And this person sent it to me like, Jack, not, hey, Jack, look at this stupid story. It was, Jack, what about this? So when you see, and I have had this multiple times, Jack, you've got to stop this bill. Well, if you Googled it, you'd see that it's a federal bill, not a state bill. Or you'd see that it was for Washington state, not Michigan state, So when these things come in on the internet, you have to make a decision. Do I believe it, or is it crazy? Do you need to do a tad research before you say, look at this? All right? So I will never vote for a reality czar, but we're in precarious times and weird times when it comes to free speech. I worry about it because, just because I disagree with you, I point the finger and say, they're a terrible person, they said this. No, you're entitled. And this goes back. This has been happening a while. And we Americans sometimes, have our blinders on. Remember safe zones in colleges? Well, I'm offended, and I'm not, you can't say that because it would hurt my feelings, or I'm afraid. We're in a really weird time here, ladies and gentlemen, and freedom of speech is paramount to continuing the this great thing we call the United States of America. So be very smart on what you share and what you read. Do a little background checking before you send out that the Chinese are amassing troops in Canada and Mexico. That's my point. I don't want to, freedom of speech, massively important. So just something to think about this weekend. And when you're on any social media, I know now there's all these new conservative ones and there's the liberal ones. I don't care which side you're on. Just be real smart, okay? And follow up, double check. Don't just buy it hook, line, and sinker. All right? Friday, more snow to shovel. We're getting some serious snow here today. So it's winter in the North Country. So if you're going to get out snowmobiling or something this weekend, enjoy yourself, cross-country skiing, whatever and I think the lakes are even froze over now, and we're going to have a high like a 4 tomorrow. Get the long johns out. Enjoy the weekend.